credit's no good for a notion salesman.
Boys! All aboard!
Why not? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an anvil salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else. Board!
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks. Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods. Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods. Cash for the noggins and the piggins and the furgins.
Cash for the logs and cash again. John, cash for the crackers and the pickles and the fly fish.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
What are you getting?
What do you talk?
You can talk, you can figure, you can talk, you can figure, you can talk, figure, you can talk all you wanna, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why, Model T, 4, bait the girls, bait the people, wanna get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 20 miles to the country.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's got to patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk?
What are you getting?
Not the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
What are you
What do
getting?
you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
What are you getting?
You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Just the you need to make the trouble. You need to put the crackers in the package in the package. You need a biscuit and airtime, sanitary, cracker baby, cracker barrel, obsolete.
Obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with the milk out on by the stove. Takes the approach of a traveling salesman, made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory.
Gone with the hog tank, Captain. And young gone with the sugar barrel, picker barrel, milk can. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
You ever meet a fellow by the name of Hill?
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 No!
Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman Bill.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
Well, so well done.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Or the Cracker Barrel being obsolete, or the you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package with a Model T Ford. Just a minute. Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his life.
Or a doggone thing. He's just a bang beat bell ringing big hog, great go, necker nothing, rip roaring every time a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill. Tell us, what's his line? He's a fake. He doesn't know the territory.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
He's a music man.
What?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big brass bass. The piccolo in uniform suit with the shiny gold braid on the coat and a big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks. Rats in here and there are Jews hard.
No, the fellow sells bands, boys bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers and he plucks and he shines. And when the man dances, certainly boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But he doesn't know the territory.
River City, we're across the state line into Iowa, population 2,212. Cigarettes are legal in this state. Board!
All right. If you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill. You really know Harold Hill? Never saw him before in my life. But I know this much. He's out, giving every one of us a black eye. Soon as he's worked a town over, the next salesman to arrive gets automatically tarred and feathered and rode out of city limits on a rail. You think it's funny? Well, wait till it happens to you. Your hair never grows back.
But why should he get run out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee to teach the kids how to play.
Well,
And to form them kids into a band.
with himself as the leader.
Well, what's wrong with that?
He doesn't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. And he can't tell a bass drum from a pipe organ. I'll catch up with that swindling tube of thimble rigger one of these days. And when I do, I'll squeal on him so loud.
Wow, you're mad, Charlie. I'd sure like to be around when you catch up with this fella.
Well, it won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa, not even the great Professor Harold Hill would try to sell the neckbone Hawkeyes out here.
Fort!
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name.
Don't believe I dropped it.
It is, if you want to go around in your drawers all day.
And so there I was in Madison Square Hospital, and nobody come to see me. Cousin Will never come, Aunt Bertha never come.
You're out Bertha's day.
She wanted to come anyway.
We could be cold as a rolling thermometers in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so by the summer we can stand touching noses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But we'll give you our shirts and don't have to roll with it. If your crop should happen to
Glad to have you with us.
Even though we may not ever mention it again.
you really ought to give Iowa, Dubuque, Des Moines, Davenport, Marshalltown, Mason City, Cleveland, Ames, clearly. Ought to give Iowa a try.
Ah, you're Mr. Squires. Yes, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday if you could accommodate me.
Then I expect you'd ought to see the man in charge of hiring rigs. Who's late? As usual.
Hey, Gregory!
Marcellus!
You old son of a gun! What is what Greg?
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
What are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know he was coming?
I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how did I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. And besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl now. Ethel Toffelmeyer, boss's niece.
God legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
What's the new pitch? You're not back in the band business. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
I was.
So what happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
Now, give me the lowdown here, Mars.
We'll never get anywhere in the band business with these
stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher here who will expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's a librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. How are we going to start the new pitch?
Same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance. Then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
But River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember? Now, what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing except the billiard parlor has just put in a new pool table.
They've never had a pool table before.
No, only billiards.
That'll do. See you around, Mars. And don't forget, music teacher.
Music teacher.
Ah, you're Mr. Dunlop.
Yep.
Either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player, certainly mighty proud to say I'm always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Help me cultivate horse sense with a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever try taking an ironclad lead to yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot? Well, just as I say, it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a ball-blind game. I say that any boob can take and shove a ball at any level. And I call that sloth the first big step on the road to the depths of degradation. I say first it's a little of a kiss and a wine and a teaspoon. Then bear from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pitchback suit. And listening to some big out-of-town Jasper here tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, no but a race where they sit down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch, making blood boil, well I should say. Now friends, let me tell you what I mean. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in a table. Pockets that mark the difference. Here, gentlemen, and a bum with a capital B, and that rhymes with B, and that stands for pool. And all week long, in River City, you'll be further and away. I say, your young men will be further. Further and away, they're noontime, summertime, short time too. Yeah, the ball in the pocket, never mind getting dandelions full of the screen door cracks of the beefsteak mountain. Never mind bumping any water to your parents are caught with a cistern at me on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. This we got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the knickerbocker, sure tell you ones. Thinking of the pool hall, when after school we got trouble, folks. Right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. No, I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while we're loafing around that hall? We're trying out Evo, trying out Cuba, trying out tailor-made like cigarette needs, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breathless sense at one fine night. They leave the pool hall, headed for the den of the armory, libertine men and scarlet women, and ragtime, shameless music gonna drag your son, your daughter, in the outdoor jungle, animal and sing hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is a devil's playground. Trouble!
Oh, yeah, trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
Surely got trouble.
They surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children's gonna have trouble, 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 trouble.
Mothers of River City, heed not warning the words too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib. Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz bag? Are certain words creeping into his conversations? Words like swell. And so's your old man. Well, so my friends, you got trouble.
Oh, we got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here in River City.
With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
Surely got trouble.
They surely got trouble.
Right here in River City.
Right here.
Remember the name, Plymouth Rock and the Golden Rule.
Our children's gonna have trouble.
Oh, we're in trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls and the devil's pool. Oh yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble.
Oh, yes, we got trouble here.
drop your...
No.
Didn't I meet you in...
No.
I'll only be in town a short time and...
Good. to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No, what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name?
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
And we know all about his lisp, Amaryllis.
I bet he won't say it. No, thank you, Amaryllis. 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 He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people just because it's a lisp?
It's not only because he lisps. That's just part of it, Amaryllis.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you or your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me. But I do him. Every night, say goodnight on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it too. Or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night, sleep tight.
There, darling, don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there will be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my cross-end piece?
May I play mine?
May I play my cross-end piece?
You may.
See, without a sweetheart, he doesn't know what to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know, Amaryllis. For the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my cross-end piece.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love. Sleep tight, my someone. Sleep tight, my love. Our star is shining. It's bright as the light. For good night, my love. For good night. Sweet dreams be yours, dear.
the singing. And to J.C. Squires was fine stereoptic and slides. And to Essel Toffenmeyer, our fine piano player. As mayor of River City, I welcome you, River City Islands, to the 4th of July exercises set up for the indoors here. In Madison Gymnasium account, the weather. Fourscore. The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. Oh, the members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreements about costumes, I suppose. Instead of the local River City Girls Historical Society will present a spectacle of my wife. in which my wife, Eulalie McKenzie Shin, will take the leading part.
Dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, 1863. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, fight for the common defense, and promote general profit, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America, the preamble to the United States Constitution, 1787. Citizens by birth or choice of a common country, that country has the right to concentrate your affections. The name of American, which belongs to you in your national capacity, must always exalt the just pride of patriotism. George Washington's Farewell Address, 1796.
By night I've seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He has trampled out the villages where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed his pitiful lightning of this terrible sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. I've been shot, George. Who shot me?
I know who did it! Tommy Giles did it! Tommy Giles did it! Yes, it was Tommy Giles! Tommy Giles! I wouldn't run if I was you!
Mrs. Shin, well recovered. No thanks to a certain young ruffian with a disgrace to our city. Fourscore and 7. The Page Fireworks Spectacle Last Days of Hunger will take place provided the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be out to Madison Picnic Park in the Farm Meadow, across the Chris from the Fest House.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair? Sure did, Ewart. That's why we all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette's happening most of the time, and you know it, JC. You wouldn't last very long in the bit. This is being accurate most of the time. Number 8's late again tonight.
I made her early. She's late, all right.
She's right on time! So now it's your watch!
Watch
Your
it.
watch!
Public.
All in the world that was still one!
Fourscore and 7.
children.
Yeah!
Resist sin and corruption.
Yeah!
Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure.
Yeah!
Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this trouble, my friends, with the wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Oh, think, my friends, how can any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Rah, 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 da, da, rah, rah. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous, fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, Bill, your father walls come on tumbling down. Oh, a band don't do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I mean a boys band. Do you hear me? I say River City's gotta have her boys band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand. River City's gonna have her boys band, and as sure as the Lord made little green apples, that band's gonna be in uniform. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, the thunder of rolling drums, the shimmer of trumpets. Da-da-da! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once felt. When Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, W.C. Handy, the great Creator, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on that very same historic day. 76 trombones led the parade with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 Marines springing up like weeds. There were hordes of every shape and kind. There were copper bottom, timpani, and horse platoon. Thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell euphoniums and big bassoons. Each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 15-ounce cannon in the battery. Thundering, thundering, louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who improvise a full octave higher than the score.
Brother Lewis lay on the mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Never mind. I want his credentials. Grab that hoodlum. He almost blew up his shin.
Oh, thank you, Professor. Have to keep an eye on this one ringleader. You know what he does, the gang does.
Julie, Clyde, let me go!
You wild kid, you hang around my oldest girl. His father's one of them day laborers out of town. You wild kid, you tagged down me to get after my oldest girl last Sunday.
I wasn't even tagging!
Don't you compliment me?
We was just walking together! Julie, Clyde!
I know you watch your physiology. I know what you're doing. My little crazy senior. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me till who laid the rails. Hell, I'll talk to you Monday morning about this bad thing. Over at City Hall, 10 o'clock sharp. Man! I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for this boy.
Oh, you don't know this kid. He's tough, and he's got his gang waiting outside.
I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Oh, gee, Professor, that's for the little kids.
I'm not talking about you playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever done anything with perpetual motion?
I nearly had it a couple of times.
You did. You're my man. Do you realize that nobody's ever invented a music loader for a marching piccolo player? No place to hang the music.
Julie, Clyde! I wonder where he gets the wire from.
Look in your cellar. That's where people keep wire. Oh, Tommy.
Yes, sir?
Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Oh, young lady. Oh, miss. What's your name?
Anita, I didn't have any idea he was beckoning to me. Ye gods!
Do you know Tommy Giles?
Well,
Tommy, this is Anita. Escort the young lady home.
only excepting, I'm not going home. I have to go to the library. Ye gods!
Then, escort the young lady home by the way of the library. By the way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir! Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir!
Ye gods!
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fellow. You made a couple mistakes, though.
Oh?
Well, the mayor happens to own that there pool table and the new billiard parlor.
Oh. What was my other mistake?
That's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute, Professor Hill. We'd like to have your credentials. We're the school board. Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
Make him put up a bond.
What am I hearing? Say
Ice cream. Ice cream. But I don't see, young man, if that's what you're getting at.
all right. Talk then.
Down here. Ice cream.
Talk.
Slow. Ice cream.
Now you. Ice cream. Now you, right here.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you won't see one of those men without the other three.
Oh, Professor, you're wrong. Why, these men have hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be any
Sincere. Where is the good in goodbye? In goodbye. Your apprehension.
I don't suppose you live alone or anything?
No.
I have some wonderful caramels over at the hotel if you...
Mr. Hill.
Professor.
Professor of what? At what college should they give a degree for annoying women on the street? Like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall.
No, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana. Gold medal class of about 5.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you a right to follow me around wherever I go? Another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory!
Oh, hi, Marcellus. And don't call me Greg.
How'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. It got out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
She did? Boy, did you sure could have swamped tonight. Because, you know, for a second, even I thought you knew something about leading a band. Like when you used to imitate that band concert fellow back in Joplin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. Just you keep your eye on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does. But it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh no, Greg, you haven't had uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you cannot pass yourself off as a music professor. I mean, not for any 4 weeks.
Marks.
You don't know one note from another.
I have a revolutionary new method called the think system, where you don't bother with the notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people will want to hear the music. You will have to lead a band.
But when the uniforms arrive, they'll forget everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son, and I've got it timed right down to the last wiggle of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Washburn.
Gotta let yourself up a little canoodling, huh?
Well,
Say, I can set you up with Ethel's sister. Real lovely girl, okay? Teaches Sunday school.
no wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs and no spider ever listened, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle, no golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play on. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I sneeze. For the lady who knows what time it is, I cheer, I rave. For the virtue I'm too late to save. A sadder but wiser girl for me. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever do. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. The youngest who keeps resisting all the time she keeps
wish to investigate. Oh, I'm sure. And naturally, I am reticent. Oh, yes. I am reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin. But you see, part of my music plan would include a committee on the dance and... No, wait. Mrs. Shin, do that again. Your foot. The way you raised it just now.
I have a bunion there that bothers.
Oh, what grace! What natural flow of rhythm, what expression of line and movement.
Mr. Hill!
Please, you must accept the chairmanship for the ladies' auxiliary of the classic dance. Mustn't she, ladies? Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Del Sart. Will you? Will you? Say yes, Mrs. Shin.
Well, it is dancing.
Then you accept.
Yes, indeed. Oh,
Thank you. Now the young lady plays the piano. Marian Peru, I believe. After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, chip, chip. Pick a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, chip, chip. Pick a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, chip, chip. Pick a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 chip. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, chip, chip. Pick a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, chip, chip. Pick a lot, pick a little, Chaucer. Pick a little, talk a little, chip, chip, chip. Pick a lot, pick a little more. Pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 chip. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, chip, chip.
I'll tell. She was seen making brazen overtures to a man who never had any friends in this town until she came here. Old miser Madison.
Miser Madison. Madison Gymnasium. Madison Picnic Park. Madison Hospital.
That one too.
That Miser Madison.
Exactly. And who did he think he was anyway?
Well, I should say, show off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city. But he left all the books to her.
She was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. That woman made brazen overtures. The guilty terrorist. She had a golden light in her eyes over voice and her glory.
Big little tuggle, big little tuggle, chip, 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 and a lot of steel. Big little tuggle, big little tuggle, chip, 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 chip. Little tuggle sitting in the library, nothing but he let all the books to her.
Chaucer.
Big little tuggle, chip, chip, big little more, big little tuggle, chip, 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 chip. Big little tuggle, chip, 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 and a lot, big little more, big little tuggle, chip, 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 and a lot, big little more. Big little tuggle, chip, 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 and a lot, big little more. Big little tuggle, chip, 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 chip. Big little tuggle, chip, 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 and a lot, big little more.
Good night, lady. Good night, lady. We're going to leave you now.
It's all right. I already know everything, and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you were very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
Please, no apologies, no explanations. I'll only be in town a short while, and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what would you like to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marion. Look. American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Madam Librarian, what can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigademen had to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian, what can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian, now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight, and a fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song in the moonlight, helping along. But when I tried in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long Marian. Ladies dance between these Tuesday nights. Marshmallow, Madam Librarian. Well, Tommy, we've had a pretty successful morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries. Tell you what, it's almost noon. You go home and get some dinner. I'll try a couple by myself.
Goodbye, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute here. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Why, no, Mayor Shin. I collect doorbells. And this particular specimen has an unusual tone quality that...
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why haven't you been down City Hall with your references?
Just missed you. Mr. Mayor, your hand don't know.
What?
The spread of the little finger, it's hereditary.
Oh, it is? What does that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good. It means that at last America has produced an artist who can flugel a minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How can I get one of these horns?
Sign here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
Yes, sir. Just think, I could have missed this. I haven't got any sword. You unscribblers flew by night. You be down City Hall with your by-God papers at 10 o'clock sharp.
You mean this afternoon?
I could have made myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Mrs. Peru, has anyone ever told you you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
If your son has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George! Not that he could ever be really great, you understand.
Oh? Is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all really great cornet players were Irish. Oh, Clark. Oh, Mendez. Oh, Clyde.
But, Professor, we are Irish.
No. No, really? That clinches it. Sign here, Miss Peru. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Thank you. That'll be $7. Nothing more due till the first installment, payable at the opening of band practice. Thank you. And of course, only the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform.
Hello, son. Certainly, his uniform, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine, at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitements of today. A stripe? Certainly, my boy. A wide red stripe on each side. What do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us.
And if you can get him to play in the band, you'll have St. Michael's own way with ya. But if anybody can do it, I'll bet you can. Out of a crowd, I'll pick you for a hod-carrying, clay-pipe-smoking, shamrock-wearing, harp-playing, maroney, pinching, terra-song minstrel singing Irishman. Be gum and be jabbers, where are ye from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
Oh, I knew it. Where'd you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Why, yes. Gold medal class of all 5. How to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Of course, Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. I've tried to see you since the other night, but...
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marion, the boy might have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
Oh? Your husband musical? Well, I'd like to talk with him. Well, I'd like to have a talk with him. I'm sure we...
Do you burst in on everyone's home like this, prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Marion.
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Now, why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
I'm sorry. But that's just all the more reason why your brother should have something like this.
My brother is a 7-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away from him. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. As to your musical tricks, why didn't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Miss Peru, I hardly... I get the feeling she likes the idea. Oh, a little cautious perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. Just keep me alive and I'll be back later in the week.
One moment, Professor Hill. About the boy's measurements, I make all his clothes. Sleeve 21, waist 18, crotch 40.
Fine! That's all I need. Now I must get back to the hotel.
Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Marion. She's not really...
Oh, please, don't worry. I'm sure in her, she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Has he gone?
He has. And I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think of your future? Gary, Indiana, conservation class of 5. Now, darling,
Now, Mama, surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man who comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
all right, darling, all right. Only, it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama. Winthrop, I know you're there. Will you please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I set aside? It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners. You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear.
Now what are you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling the Indiana Journal will help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my asking, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Greiner, who backs him into the ancient history shelf every time he comes to the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gamage in that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either. can't. It's Epworth League night. Meet you where?
The footbridge.
You see? Isn't that what I just said? Last time the lumber yard, and now the footbridge. And where will we meet after that? In the black hole of Calcutta? Ye gods!
I only want to show you my invention.
What invention?
It's my music holder for a Monte Piccolo player. It still has a couple of minor flaws. See, when you keep it tight enough to hold the music steady, well, it cuts off the circulation and you can't wiggle your fingers. And meanwhile, you could go blind.
Tommy, it's Papa!
Is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
Yes, the very first thing I said, or I'll eat hay with the horse. Get that spellbinder's credentials, I said. Morning of July 4th, 1912. And now look, my wife is off dancing at any and all hours instead of in the home.
But George,
The school board is singing up street and down alley instead of tending the city matters. My oldest girl is fooling around with some wild kid, and my business has fallen off so far, I can't find the balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
I know all about that. In fact, that's all I can ever get out of it. Give me conservatory class about mine.
If you'll just take a look and read a little bit about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look any further. It's on page...
Papa, the Wells Fargo wagon is just coming up from the depot.
The Wells Fargo wagon? A likely story at this hour of day? Nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon.
Could be the band instruments.
The band instruments.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
In March I got a gray Mackinac.
And once I got some big blue boots on me about time and across the sun.
The Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. A pretty streets of white for COD. Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
Sent a cannon for the courthouse where
Dare to make a stop until you stop for me.
Here you are with them. Men, you will all receive instruction in due course. But in the meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and start thinking about the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da. La-di-da.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da. La-di-da.
Sister, it's a sister. Solid gold thing you ever saw. And now I just got the name so scrumptious. After scrumptious solid gold thing. Oh, sister.
round one for you, Mr. Hill. but I better hear some by God tooting out of those horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury over at the county seat. Now, Miss Mary, about that book.
Come, George, send us
You
fugitives.
watch your phraseology. Get along if you need to. I've got to get something from the librarian. About that book.
Ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
Lovely ladies. Lovely. Now turn. Take the body with you. Lovely. Now let's have a go at our Grecian herbs. 1 Grecian herb. 2 Grecian herbs. 'And a fountain. Trickle, 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 trickle. Oh, splendid, ladies. I predict that our Dorsart display will be the highlight of the ice cream sociable. Now, gentlemen, when you're ready. Oh! Yes. And remember, don't make me tell you again. Keep your face to the audience. Now, Mr. Dunlop.
It's you in the sunrise. It's you in my cup. It's you all the way into town. It's your sweet hello, dear, that sets me up. And it's your got to go, dear, that gets me down. It's you on my pillow in
activities of this spellbinding, simple salesman. You know what I see written all over you? Reform school. Now get out. Get out, you wild kid.
Papa, please, it's Capulets like you that make blood in the marketplace. He caught!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Go home. You lazy? You tend to your dance.
My dance.
I'll handle the need. Take it up with wild kids from the wrong side of town.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you
Well,
understand.
you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover and couldn't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please.
Hill, I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off the mouth of this girl. Yes.
All right, but in the meantime, I'm vouching for Tommy Giles. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in town. You'll be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to fork out in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they'll receive from tripping over their gears. Let me tell you something, my fine young feathered young, never mind. All of us, JC, Ewart, Ballin. I want that spellbinding credentials, and I want him tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slippier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
Do you mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get me his papers, or get him in jail. Couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin has behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
Oh, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
Oh no, a man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths. The brave man, only 500. Unfortunately, of course, the mayor was already pretty mad on the account of his billiard parlor. Though I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority like yourself would help, but I couldn't think of asking you to do a thing like that.
Why, Professor Hill?
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been wanting to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet. Mother of pearl keys.
I'm sure it's fine, but you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so, he made a few, experimental blats, I guess you'd say?
Yes. Blacks.
And he sings the minuet and G-dee-da almost constantly.
La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. La-dee-da. La-dee-da.
But he never touches the cornet.
Well.
He says you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well, you see.
He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor...
Miss Mary, the think system is a revolutionary new method, I'll admit. So was Galileo's conception of the heavens. Columbus's conception of the egg. Globe. Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. No, I cannot discuss these things here in public, but if you'll allow me to call, when may I call?
Why, any night this week. Miss Peru, please, you better get down the side committee.
but we got our orders.
We all been deputized! Yes, congratulations. Now, let's see here. You know, I've tried to give you fellows my references and credentials all week, but every time you get off the subject somehow. Now, I have just what you want over at my hotel room. Take me a second.
Sorry, afraid I'll have to go along with you.
Yes, well, let's see if I have my key. Oh? What's this? A testimonial from Madame Reedy, the only female bassoon player ever to appear on the Red Path circuit. And her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from the line Rose Quackenbush.
Can I see that for a minute?
You'll never forget the name. Lida Rose, just like the old song. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be my Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose.
tell him, ah, yes, ah, no, fiddlesticks. Just open your mouth and let it come out.
not.
Now, Mama.
No, nothing. If he comes to call again, you see him alone. And if you haven't the gumption to tell him how you feel,
Tell him.
well, there's nothing wrong with a ladylike hint.
Mama!
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing!
Fishing?
With Harold.
You mean Professor Hill?
And look, I still have some worms left.
Did you have a good time?
Scrumptious. And he told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday. And he taught me a song that hardly had any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I have been on this elegant encyclopedia, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there was just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, very friendly and around. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. If you'd like to have a logical explanation, how I have been on this elegant encyclopedia, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there's just one place that can light my face.
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana.
Not Louisiana, very friendly and around. But
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home.
I'll be back in a minute. I have to show Amaryllis my live frog.
Leave the dishes. I'll do them, Mama.
Don't you have to change for the sociable?
There's time later.
Shin's live around here somewhere?
The Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Oh, criminy! I see you're the piano teacher in town. You must know about this fellow Harold Hill forming a boys' band here.
Yes?
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I've got the goods on him in spades. Swindling to me! That's what I've got to see Shin. I'm just passing through. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop. Wish it was 20. Would sure like to concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell, and no salesman. But just now, I'm out to protect the name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cal, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake my old lady's corset cover. That fella has been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth long enough. He's spoiled Illinois for me, and he ain't gonna spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of piano teacher are you that you didn't see through it? He's no more professor
Oh,
than...
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director and his class...
Wait a minute. Fine director, have you heard one note of music from any band?
No, but...
But nothing, girly girl. That fella's never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
If you'll just listen to me for a minute.
I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that if I had the time. I sure got the inclination. But I can't. I gotta get back on that train, and I gotta leave this dynamite with someone on the way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. See you next time through.
You'll never make that train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I've got to leave word, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Oh, but just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No! I mean, I don't know you, and...
Yeah, I I need more time anyway.
I mean, as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I've never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
It takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils have a limited appeal, you know. But what am I doing? If I miss that train, I'll get fired. And I gotta leave word about that fellow Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin type. How do I know you deliver those letters?
Try me.
I rose, I'm home again, rose to get the sun back in the sky.
There's your train. Now run for it.
Why, you little... Who do you think you're protecting? This fella's got a girl in every county in Illinois, and he's taking it away from every single one of them. Not to mention the piano teachers like you he cozies up to keep their mouth shut. Neither one of you's heard the last of me, girly girl.
I'll pop the question. Line a rose, I'm home again, rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marion. Line a rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Line a rose, oh, won't you be mine? Line a rose, oh, line a rose, oh, line a rose.
Marion, dear, who was you talking to just? Why, Professor Hill.
Good evening to you, Whittaperoo. Miss Marion.
You and Marion come up and sit. I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I'll go put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
did I didn't mean anything.
No, Miss Marion, I'm not suggesting that your invitation offered anything but academic enlightenment. The think system. I've been by your house a time or two this week to try to explain it to you, but there always seem to be people around. Ladies, mostly, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
I'm glad. Wouldn't want anyone beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am? Well, it's evidently not the convenient night. See you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100? What I'm trying to say
Yes?
is it true that you've developed a think system?
A what? A think system? Oh, a think system. Yes, it's really very simple. As simple as whistling. No one has to show you how to use your lips in whistling. You simply have to think a tune to have it come out clearly. Here. Now just try this yourself before you ask any questions.
I take your word.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
I dare say you meet dozens, even 100.
Well,
Have they all been as fascinated as I have with the think system?
some more, some less. One young lady thought of the same system before I even got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. I'm sure you have many more important things to do than explain the think system to me.
Can't think of one.
And I'm sure I'm dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors of librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty.
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me in a sure job so Mother Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you don't believe...
Of course not. That's exactly what I'm saying. But why do you think people start these rumors?
Narrow-mindedness? Jealousy, mostly, I guess.
And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, nothing about you personally, just generally.
What have you heard generally?
Just that. But of course it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy can lead to, take you for instance. Your attentions to customers and, well, teachers might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? Honestly now, mightn't they?
Why?
And so you say, if another salesman or somebody were jealous, they could be downright lies, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just proves you shouldn't believe everything you hear, doesn't it? If you discuss things.
Miss Marion, I'd be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you. But couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit, your knees bend and all.
We could sit on the porch steps.
Or we could go sit on a large hollow log over at the footbridge.
I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge before with a man in my life.
Just to talk?
I've got to dress for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I can't. Some other time, maybe tomorrow?
My dear little librarian, pile up enough tomorrows and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I'd like to make today worth remembering, wouldn't you?
Oh, so would I.
The footbridge, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama! What? I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be in the safety trays, it works!
What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
Hey, Greg! The uniforms have arrived, and the kids are in them already. But those people will be screaming for music if those kids show up at the social.
Yeah?
Alright, here's most of the dough. I had Tommy collected earlier. He's keeping the kids together at least, pretending to hold a practice over at the lumberyard.
Alright, Marks, get the rig.
Got it.
What time does the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
Well, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Listen, if you want to turtle wordle around here, get yourself caught in a bunny trap, you go right ahead, but
Don't worry, Marks. I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Miss Marion. You're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
I meant you're about, well, let's say, 26 years late. Took you all this time to get to the footbridge with a fella.
To tell you the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Miss Marion, sure you don't believe I've been selling you anything?
No, you've given me something, and that's why I've come.
I don't recall giving you...
Oh yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came, and I'm glad. Oh, please don't be afraid I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more. But that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you will have left behind for me.
Marion,
There were bells on a hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were bells.
things that you don't know about me.
Hey, Grant!
Excuse me. I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. This could be it. Now what?
Say, who's the salesman here? Sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
You nuts? I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. I had to keep her off balance, didn't I? I told
Well,
you.
now, she's so far off balance, you can't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Listen here, Buster Brown. I've come up through the ranks in this skirmish, and I'm not resigning without my commission.
Okay, but Greg, you'll never get anywhere out here on the footbridge.
There's a place over at Madison Park, near the Sociable. Makes this footbridge look like the old lady's home. Now, beat it. Go get the rig. Never a peaceful moment in the music business. Now, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, we don't have to get into that just now, do we?
No, we don't. Or ever for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt like doing much research lately, but she did plenty when you first came here.
Oh? About what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music, gold medalist class of Ot 5. Harold, there was no Gary Conservatory in Ot 5.
Why, there's certainly...
Because the town wasn't even built till Ot 6. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew all the time.
Since July 7th, 3 days after you first came here, I tore this paper out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why, you little... Well, 110 cornets played the air. Then I modestly took my place as the one and only face, and I but up and down the square.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love.
Well, 110 cornets played the air.
Our star is shining, its brightest love.
There were horns of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
Well, 110 cornets played the air.
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone, good night.
Greg, this man's going crazy. He's going all the time on everything.
I'll say I'm crazy. Missed my train, probably lost my job, but I got you now, Hill, and you'll pay. You'd have been in the clink right now had it not been for that piano teacher. I tell her all about you, and what does she do? Lillygags me around till I couldn't get to shit. Little dried up man-hungry doxy, Rousey. Get out of here or I'll kill you, you dirty mouth. You bully! You big blow-off! I won't leave this town till you've had yours. Up, down, through, and sideways! While you never even knew the territory!
Greg, here's your stuff. The rig's in the alley. Come on, let's go.
About Harold Hill, road agent, highwayman, pickpockets. Pickpockets? Same thing. He's had a hand in your wallet, mister. Oh, in yours, madam. Oh, and yours, little lady, ever since the first moment he came to this town. There's more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There isn't any band. There never has been any band. And there never will be any band. And if you don't hunt this man down right now, like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Now will you believe me?
Yeah.
Well, what are we waiting for?
I want my money back.
Money back? I want his hide.
Yeah.
After him. And when you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse. After him. Drop him over. Look back the bridge. Drop Bill. Back to the bridge.
Marion, I've been looking all over for you. Where's he been?
Harold, I've been looking for Winthrop. He's run away. Please go, Harold. Please, they're even talking about tar and feathers.
I had to see you again, Marion.
It's all right. Don't you know that? You don't mean a word, not a word.
Frank! He isn't anywhere around here. Let's try down by the creek.
Winthrop!
Wait a minute here, son.
I'm not your son. Leave go me.
Not till I talk to you for a second.
I won't listen. You wouldn't tell the truth anyway.
I would too.
Would not.
Would too. Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a dirty rotten crook?
Yes.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Then leave me go, you big liar!
What's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you, so you're gonna stand here and get it all. So you might as well quit wiggling. There's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're an amazing kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you'd quit moping around, feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
The other thing isn't any of your business now that I think of it.
I wish you'd never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he's ever said.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised us. And it all happened just like he said. The lights, and the flags, and the colors, and the symbols.
Where was all that?
And the way every kid walked around here all summer. And looked and acted. Especially you. And the parents too. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor. Why not?
Because for the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Frank, they're coming. That way, that way.
That way.
Which is why I interrupted the program at this point. Rest assured that this snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended at this time. Yes, and always remember, fellow River City Athens, I can only remind you that I did everything in my power to stop this dire happening from happening.
What have you done to get our money back?
That professor collected nearly $300
later, since just after supper.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a kidnapper!
Exactly.
My situation here.
7. Just a minute. Ooh, virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. Now there are those that I've heard who are melted tar and collecting feathers. I will not say the name.
I should think there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting Iowa-stubborn chip-on-the-shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful to him for what he's brought to River City. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there's a person in this hall who doesn't think this man Hill should be tarred and feathered, let him stand up. You lady, sit down. And the rest of you standing there like a cold Shropshire sheep. Have you people forgotten how you brought expensive uniforms, technical instruction books, and high-priced band instruments? Have you forgotten the clairvoyancy and understanding that your child would be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Huh? Where is the band?
Think, men. Think.